Good morning, everybody. This is Ying calling from California, and Chloe just jumped up, so I pressed the live button as early as I could to make sure that we got her up here. She just jumped up, and she says, "Thank you for the frozen breakfast, Ying. Mommy, I had the frozen breakfast. I just licking my tongue, licking my mouth. There we are. Okay, this is Ying Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 286 for you. It is the 14th of October, 2021, and it's a Thursday. And Ying Yang has her cat Chloe right here playing, and she's so good this morning. She only challenged Bea once. Bea has a form of asthma as well as a heart condition. So for Bea, who is physically bigger than Chloe, to stay in charge, she has to stay in the top tier of the cat structure that I have. And hi, Bea! And then Chloe is physically smaller by about 2 or 3 pounds. Two pounds, small, about a pound and a half, or she's 9 pounds and the other one is 11 and a half. So about 2.5 pounds apart they are. And because of Bea's condition, Chloe occasionally tries to threaten her for her spot in the top tier. And I always call Chloe back down because this is how I see it. But if I were a cat owner that didn't know about Bea's heart condition, I would just let them fight it out. So here I am maintaining the hierarchy of this organization through a strong arm of the sort of a fist. This morning, I'm sorry I'm late. The reason is that Facebook actually had a problem, and when I tried to press the live buttons, and plus I actually woke up 15 minutes, so I was not early myself, but I pressed the live button and it wouldn't work. So I didn't know what time I would be back on, so I just said, well, why don't I just do it whenever I can get the button to work? And so I did that, and I was planning to type in my title, which was going to be, I didn't know what my title was going to be yet, but Chloe jumped up here, so I said, okay, I'll just press the live button now and start it when we can get her on a cameo. We'd like her cameo. I love her cameos. So anyway, it's October 14th, 2021. I'm trying to remember if it's anybody's birthday that I know. I don't think so. I think November 14th and October 16th are birthdays that I know of. But anyway, Publilius Syrus said, "Let a fool hold his tongue, and he will pass for a sage." That's actually a truism. It's like somebody else more modern said, Publilius Syrus lived in like 2,000 years ago. He was a Roman philosopher, and I've actually given a live about him, completely about him, in the past, like at my couple of hundred lives ago. I can't believe we're on number 286. I cannot believe I've done this 286 times at the very least. The numbers didn't correspond to the actual number of lives I was doing before. They didn't correspond to the days. They didn't correspond to the actual number of lives. I did A, B, C, D sometimes. I went into the hospital and did one day, 5 lives, you know. So it doesn't quite correspond, but it's getting to be more and more precise as time goes on. So I've done it 286 times. And today I wanted to give you some quotes from brainyquote.com. I'm sorry I'm rambling on and on. I had to, this time I have watched my motivational speaker in the morning, Dr. Duc Si Vong. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but it's a Vietnamese name. He was a surgeon. He was a... he's got a medical degree. He's got a motivational series because he is a he started out as a bariatric surgeon, and he started a weight loss program called weightlosschallenge.com. I'm giving a plug for him because I joined this weight loss challenge without realizing I even had a weight problem. All I did was I joined it because he gave some COVID talks that were recommended on my YouTube channel feeds. His channel was recommended. So I watched it a few times and I got some good information about the updated COVID accurate information from a medical professional whose following was the most affected by the COVID pandemic at the time. So then he had a challenge program. He said that he had a challenge for weight loss candidates who you had a community every morning of, you for less than a cup of coffee per day, you're getting a community live in the mornings, and you get to participate through the chats if you want to. And it's basically about your mindset and how to have a more whole big picture of setting up your life, which will actually most affect your weight loss if you have a weight loss challenge to journey on. And then what I said was, well, I was taking this medicine for the last 4 or 5 years, and it made me gain 30 or 40 pounds, and yeah, I guess I kind of have enough of a weight problem. I kind of qualified to join that, if I want to, so I did. And for, at that time, it was around like $1 or $2 a day. So I said, this is great. So I joined it. Guess what? I have lost 38 pounds without even, like, really trying that hard. I mean, I tried a lot of, the things that were suggested. He's got a few steps to take every day that are pretty easy to develop as habits. And I'd say at the beginning of every month, he's got a pretty good program going. At the beginning of many months, he will start an open enrollment, and you can buy into the monthly program. I highly recommend it because it has actually affected my life in very positive ways. I wouldn't call him a guru because he doesn't know everything. And you never join something that takes away your sense of self-determination. Never join something that takes away your sense of the ability to decide what you choose. So it is not something that people would say, oh, he makes me do this. No, that's never true. Never the case. So in my lives, which I have begun these lives because of that, I found that doing a live in the mornings got me up, got me with a small purpose in my life, got me with a positive outlook every day. I have started these lives, and I said, well, why don't I bring people some quotes every day? Because I'm not the smartest person in the world, but there are the smartest people in the world that have been quoted a lot. So I am giving you quotes. James Beadle says, he thought as a sage, though he felt like a man. Pink said, sage is cleansing and sacred. Ah ha 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 ha. The Lao Tzu philosopher from several thousand years ago said, the sage does not hoard. The more he helps others, the more he benefits himself. The more he gives to others, the more he gets himself. The way of heaven does one good, but never does one harm. The way of the sage is to act, but not to compete. Interesting. Paul Di Filippo said, one posthumous measure of a person's life is how often you imagine his impossible return to deal with some event he never lived to encounter. You picture his reactions, his advice, his sage commentary, and humorous asides. For instance, I think about Mark Twain's hypothetical take on current events several times a week. This is something I do. I have a relative that I also do that for. Baltasar Gracian, Spanish. He was a Spanish philosopher from the 1600s. He said, he that can live alone resembles the brute beast in nothing, the sage in much, and God in everything. Frank Waters said, the vast sage desert undulates with almost imperceptible tides like the oceans. Okay. N. Chandrababu Naidu said, I promoted Hyderabad to the world by saying that there was privacy in India and their data will be sage. Data is wealth. Data, in my opinion, data is like sand and wisdom is like glass. This is me. This is Yin Yang, uh, Yin Yang Mary Yang Wu saying, information is like sand. Wisdom is like refined glass. So what you do with information is you have to know which one piece to take and which one piece not to take, and then slowly you accumulate what pieces to take and what pieces not to take. Never bring everything down into one small thing. Never do this reductio ad absurdum thing, which is to take one thing and say, oh, that's the answer to everything. Okay, one more quote. Lao Tzu says, the career of a sage is of two kinds. He is either honored by all in the world, like a flower waving its head, or else he disappears into the silent forest. Okay, you guys, I will talk to you again later. Tomorrow it will be at Pacific Daylight Time, 5:30 as usual, as long as Facebook is working. And I will talk to you again later. I'm going to try to put these on YouTube, so it won't always be Facebook that you'll see me, but I haven't done that yet. Okay, alrighty, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.